Yeah, good evening. Let's check the audio. Wait a minute. Yeah, good evening. Let's check the audio. Wait a minute. Good evening to one and all. So today we are going to see about webinar on AI using big data analytics. I am Kamalesh. I am from pantechelearning. So today we will see about how we are using big data analytics in AI technology. Okay. So before we go into this session, I like to play the video of convener. Okay. So just a minute. I will play the video. So the greetings from convener is all about. I'll just play the video, just to see the video. Okay.
Thanks for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Vishnu Kamsoni. I am Head of Computer Science and Engineering Department, Lakshmi Institute of Technology, Bilashpur, Chhattisgarh, India. Now, without wasting the time, I would like to invite Mr. Kamlesh to present the webinar.
So thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. So thank you for this video. So this is the video by convener. So let's we start the session. So today's session is all about so the session is conducted by Lakshmi Chan Institute of Technology, Raipur Road, Bodari, so in India. So this program is organized by Department of Computer Science Engineering. The webinar is all about AI using big data analytics. Okay, so the webinar is related to the leading into the future AI technology with big data analysis. How we can convey AI with big data analysis. So I like to thanks to convener and coordinator. The convener, Mr. Vishnu Kant Soni, HOD of CSE department. So this program is organized by Department of Computer Science Engineering, and then coordinator Nitish Nema. Okay, so assistant professor of CSE department. Okay, so thanks for these conveners and coordinators to conducting this wonderful webinar on Pantech e-learning. And so this is all about introduction. So I am Kamlesh. I am from Pantech e-learning. So today we will enter into the session of how we can do AI using big data analytics. Okay. So before entering into the session, I like to tell about Pantech solution. So it's organized on 2004 with 7 branches like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana, and some other states like Vijayawada and all. And then they have 100 plus employees, and then 1200 plus workshops we conducted, and then more than 8,15,000 approximately students we given some knowledge through workshops and some webinars and some FDP programs and all. And then our main aim is like we are providing projects for R&D department, like R&D for industry process, and then faculty development programs like FDP. So even for faculties also, even MATLAB using AI technology or deep learning technology or machine learning technology. Otherwise like power electronic systems we have through MATLAB or Simulink. Okay, so we are using those technology to hands-on training only, well educated faculties with hands-on training. So faculty will comes to know in real time also. So FDP program we are conducting and hands-on training workshops Okay, so if we conduct any workshop, it's fully oriented about hands-on training only, not a theoretical session and all. And then in internship on in-plan training, short-term courses, value-added courses, and academic projects also. So academic projects means ProEd. So ProEd is all about triple E. We are providing a projects like triple E, ECE, and then CSE, IT. Not only for these peoples like arts and science, MCA, MBA department or PhD also. Okay, so I will tell you about this. Okay, so here you can see for ECE and triple E domains. In this domains, okay, so like electrical and electronic domains we have, like not only for engineering students, we have provide the project for both arts and science and the MBA, MCA, like those PG courses also. Okay, so like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, embedded system and robotics, VLSI, FPGA, TMS processors, and then image processing, OpenCV, network simulation like NS2, NS3, and then power electronics and electric vehicles. So this is the program we are conducting for triple E and EC departments. Okay, then CSE and IT, if you take means we comes to know like big data and data analytics, Internet of Things, and Python, Android Kotlin, Android applications development, and data and image processing and text mining, CNLP, natural language processing, and then cloud computing and mobile computing. So this is fully software oriented. So CSE and IT domains we will go through the projects. Okay, so this is all about Pantech e-learning and Pantech solution. And then let me enter into the session how we can move with AI data science. Okay, AI with big data. Okay, so this is the table of content, introduction to big data problem. Okay, so first we will see some introduction part about big data, and then we will see about introduction to AI, and then we will see about types of artificial intelligence, and then agent, types of agent, and conclusion. Okay, so this is all about today's content. Okay, we will see about big data and then problems. Okay, so big data, if we name itself, we have a suggest. Okay, so big data, okay, large amount of data. Okay, so based on the large amount of data, we need to achieve the AI subsets. Okay, AI subsets is nothing but machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so how we can do? Okay, so I will tell you in some painting also. Okay, so we enter into the session. So first of all, we need to know what is big data. Okay, so big data is nothing but it's all about gigabyte, terabyte, or petabyte, or exabyte. Okay, so everybody will comes to know what is gigabyte and what is terabyte. Okay, so big data is all about data. Okay, so then why we are using big data? Okay, so we will use big data unless for like hospital management or hospital wise, or some other marketing side also. Okay, so based on those big data, we have some structured and unstructured data. Okay, structured and unstructured data is nothing but all about like frames. Okay, so if you have a structured data, so it should be in the name or attribute name with rows and columns with fulfilled manner. Okay, so that is called structured data. If it is unstructured data, means you can retrieve the data from online like some other way. Okay, so it should be sometime it should be retrieve the data with full, otherwise sometimes data should be not in clear. Okay, so that is unstructured data. So we are collecting the data from online like that. Okay, so what are the area we can use, like storing, processing, and how we can do? Okay, so for example, if you have a PC, you need to do some process, do some manipulation activities like copy pasting, otherwise cut copy paste, otherwise you are taking a data from one drive to another drive. You need to perform those tasks, you need some OS with processors. Okay, so based on that OS and processor, we need to achieve your task. Okay, so achieve your task from one place to another, moving a data, otherwise transferring a data, like that you can do. Okay, but here we are handling the more number of data, that is more number of GB data. Okay, GB or tera, TB or PB. Okay, so more amount of data we have. Okay, so how we can handle this data? Okay, so how we can storing those data, and how we can process those data, and how we can view those data with some graphs or some other process we need to do, means how we can do. Okay, so that is the way you want to do, means you have some softwares. Okay, so you have some big data analytics softwares. Those big data analytics softwares is nothing but like world one Hadoop system. Okay, Hadoop system is one of the major big data analytics in world one, in olden days. Okay, but nowadays we are using Spark. Okay, so Spark is one of the trending and the easiest one, and then most efficiency one, and it will be retrieved within less time compared to Hadoop. Okay, so that is the major thing we are doing. We need to do some process with Hadoop and Spark. Okay, so Hadoop and Spark is nothing but, if you want to do any process or any manipulating data, or deleting or removing or cut or terminating, okay, or dropping. Okay, so like this, you want to do some process with your big data, we need to use these kind of softwares like Hadoop and Spark. Okay, so this is the thing about just introduction to about big data. Okay, okay, so next thing, we enter into the like VQ. Okay, that is V3. Okay, so if you take an big data, they have some characteristic. Okay, so like volume, velocity and variety. Okay, volume, velocity and variety. Okay, so what is the volume? Okay, volume is nothing but the size of the data. Okay, so if you want to download any data, they have some size. Okay, so based on that size, based on the quantity, okay, based on the space taken by a memory, how we can process those data. Okay, that is the volume. Okay, then velocity is nothing but speed of the data. For example, if you are moving from one drive to another drive, otherwise in your PC to in your pen drive. Okay, so they have some speed. Okay, so you have, everybody will know about that pen drive. Okay, pen drive have some if you take an like past 5 years before taken by the pen drive, means they have some speed, transferring speed, have some less amount of transferring speed per second, they have some transferring speed. But if you take an nowadays pen drive, means they have some transferring speed. Okay, so like that only. Okay, so if you have an big data, okay, how we can move with those data with fast. Okay, with Hadoop and Spark technology, we will move the speed of the data. Okay, and then variety. Okay, type of data to store and process. Okay, so if you take an data, they have large amount of categories. Okay, so for example, I am telling, okay, if you take one data, we have split the data into two types. Okay, one is non-categorical, another one is categorical. Okay, otherwise one is numerical, another one is categorical. Okay, so numerical means we have different types like integer, float. Okay, so like that, some types of numerical data is there. Okay, if it is categorical, means we have some other thing. Okay, so like categorical means we have only an text, like cluster of text, like high or low or medium or high. Okay, so if you take an like gender column, you have a male or female, like that we have some cluster of data also. Otherwise we have some string type also. Okay, so like some paragraph. Okay, so otherwise some other text type. Okay, so that is a variety of data. Okay, so how we should store those variety of data, in which manner we need to process those data. Okay, so there is a basic thing, basic triple V in big data. Okay, that is volume, velocity and variety. Okay, and then problems. Okay, so what are the problems we can achieve during handling the big data? Okay, so the problem we need to achieve, okay, if you want to handle any big data, okay, so you need supercomputers. Okay, the supercomputers, not only you need supercomputers, the supercomputers need to support some other hardware also. Okay, hardware like more number of processors and more number of processors or some other things also. Okay, so that is the use, that is the we need to achieve those. First thing we need to achieve supercomputers. Okay, so next one we need to achieve like processors. Okay, processors are RAM. Okay, and performing operation. Okay, how it's performing. Okay, so if we take a normal one general, okay, normal our PC, we have two type of hard disk. Okay, so like SSD or HDD. Okay, so yes, there is a difference between SSD and HD. Okay, hard disk. Okay, so like this. Okay, so like this, if you want to do some big data analytics, you need some processor and you need some memories. Okay, you need some RAM allotment. Okay, so based on that you need to perform those actions or those tasks. Okay, so that is the one of the major problem. Okay, nowadays it's completely collecting of data is like a unstructured data only. Okay, so for example, if you take in this world, okay, so in this world you are collecting all the data. Okay, so all the internet data and all your data. Okay, if you are collecting all the data, and after collecting those all the data, if you take a weight of, if you measure the weight of those data, means the weight of those data is how much, means like one tomato size only. Okay, the size of the data will be one tomato size only. Okay, so general information. Okay, not an big data oriented. I am telling you as I read those information, just I want to share you. If you collect all the data in this world, internet data in this world, and you take and you measure the weight of those data, it should be in the, it's like a one tomato. If you take and one tomato, what is the weight? Okay, so like same thing only, your weight, our internet data weight also. But in that, within that, we have a lot of TB, lot of GB. Okay, lot of gigabyte. Okay, so a lot of things we have. Okay, so in this lot of things we can divide our data into two types. I already told you, like structured and unstructured. Okay, so in those in the data, the structured data will be a minimum. Okay, that is only 20% of data is available in structured manner. Balance 80% of data will be in unstructured manner. Okay, so balance 80% data will be unstructured manner. Okay, so using those unstructured data, you need to process into some other information of data. Okay, so for those purpose we are using like data science, machine learning, deep learning. Okay, so using those things we are doing the so if you want to convert your unstructured data into structured data, we need to use some process. Okay, those processes are called as like data science or machine learning or deep learning algorithm we are using. Okay, so and one thing like we need to easily handle those big data. Okay, that is important. Okay, because the way of processing those data and way of storing those data is like huge amount of data. Okay, we need to handle with safety manner. Okay, so if anything happened for those data, it won't retrieve also. Okay, if we retrieve also, it takes some time or it takes its vulnerability. Okay, so for that purpose we need to use some advanced softwares. So at this time we comes to know about Hadoop and Spark. Okay, so here you can see applications. Okay, what are the applications we are used in our big data? Okay, like media and entertainment, healthcare. Okay, and then energy and utilities, manufacturing, education, transportation, insurance, banking and securities. Okay, so this is the way of big data application. Okay, so let's we know I like to open Spain. Okay, so I will tell you some just an information about how it's working big data. Okay, so I will tell about big data. Okay, big data. Okay, so I tell one simple example. Okay, how we can, for example, everybody will know about WSN, right? WSN, wireless sensor network. Okay, so wireless sensor network or WANET, vehicular ad hoc network, or MANET. Okay, so mobile ad hoc network. Okay, so we have different type of network. Okay, in network way. Okay, but I am taking here wireless sensor network. Okay, so what is the main aim of wireless sensor network is collecting the data from using some sensors, otherwise using some actuators. Okay, after those data will be transferred to some particular base station, and then we are collecting those data for prediction. Okay, so for example, here I will take like example of climate. Okay, weather prediction. Okay, so just we are taking the data of weather prediction. So I'm just telling, just an example I'm telling. Okay, so here I have some sensors. Okay, so not only 2 or 3 sensors, in environment we have more amount of sensors. Okay, so those sensors will collect some data. Okay, so for example, here I am having some cluster of sensors, here I am having some cluster of sensors. Okay, so those sensors will be collect the data like how the ecosystem is having, like now it's right now. Okay, right now it's a temperature is high or temperature is low, otherwise like this it will be collect some data. Okay, so those data will be transferred to some other cluster head node. Okay, so otherwise it will be transferred to directly antenna. Okay, so through antenna it will be give those data. Okay, so like this data will be collected from the sensors. Okay, and then it will be passed to the cluster heads, and then cluster head will be transferred to the antennas. Okay, so for example, we will take it this as a one data. Okay, so for example I am telling, so here we have collecting some data through real-time environment, we are transferring those data to the antenna. Okay, so up to this we will left it out. Okay, so we are collecting the data and then transferring them into the antenna. Okay, so what is the main aim? We need to predict some weather. Okay, so weather report. Okay, so based on the data only, the weather reporters will be tell the today's weather or tomorrow's weather or 1 week after how our real environment will be like. Okay, so based on the like this only they are analyzing with data and then giving the report. Okay, so here I am collecting the data and transferring to the antenna. Okay, so after this how they will give the answer. Okay, so just they are collecting the data and transferring to the antenna. So those antenna will be transferred to, for example, we have one base station, like reporter. Okay, so we have weather reporter. Okay, so in this weather reporter will be analyze some data. Okay, analyze some data according to the collection of data. With analyze data, they will give the result whether we have rain or sunny. Okay, so like this they will analyze some data. Based on the data we will get the output, but how they are doing this process. Okay, so in which way they will use the process. Okay, so for here we need to know about AI, machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so AI, machine learning and deep learning. So based on these technology only they are telling the result. Okay, so like whether it's a rainy day, whether it's a summer, or whether it's a, I'm just telling about a example how it may work. Okay, but not exactly. Okay, so exactly they will predict using some other antennas and all. Okay, just for understanding purpose I am telling how it's working. Okay, so here we collect the data. Here you can see we based on the AI, machine learning, deep learning, they will comes to predict the output. Okay, so how it's working based on the past data. Okay, so past data where we will collect based on the some sensors or some other actuators or some other, we need some data. Okay, so those data in the form of like Excel or text file, okay, or some other file also, okay, like HTML, CSV. Okay, so based on those data it will predict the output. Okay, so let's we see about how AI is working. Okay, so up to big data we understand, okay, how big data and where we are collecting the data, we will comes to understand. Okay, so let me see about AI, machine learning and deep learning. Okay, okay, so here we have a AI, okay, and then machine learning, okay, and then deep learning. Okay, so about AI, when it is introduced, is the introduction of AI is at the time in 1950 itself. Okay, 1915 itself, Alan Turing is the one of the scientists. Okay, so he invented AI. Okay, so AI not invented AI, he comes to know machine will have a capacity to learn automatically and then give the result. Okay, so in 1915 itself the AI started. Okay, so if you want to achieve 100% AI, okay, we need some data, so here on the 1950s and all, the data is not possible. Okay, so collecting of data is not possible because we are not using any internet connection also, and we are not using that much social medias also, okay, like Twitter, Instagram and all. Okay, so at the time the way of using internet also is difficult. Okay, so we have AI, but we need to achieve 100% AI means we don't have that much data. Okay, so in 90s, okay, so we started to using some internet like online medias like email. Okay, otherwise some other way to transferring the bank scatter amounts, okay, from one place to another place, otherwise the hospitals. Okay, so they started to use internets. Okay, so after they started to use, we have some few amounts of data, okay, like small amount of data, not a big data, small amount of data. Okay, so using those data, okay, we can achieve machine learning. Okay, for machine learning type of algorithm we can achieve the predictions. Okay, for example, machine learning will be work under like if you give an data, okay, if you give an data to the algorithm, that is machine learning algorithm. Okay, so algorithm will be give the prediction result, okay, whether it's yes or no. Okay, so like that it will be give the data, but here you can see it will be work for few amount of data only, that is only small size of data. Okay, so in 2000 or more than 2002 we started to using huge amount of data. Okay, so like they all each and in this world more number of people have started to using internet connections and started to using mobile phones, and then each and every day we are storing in cloud or in server. Okay, more number of data. Okay, so like 1 TB or 1 zillion byte. Okay, like that we are taking more amount of data using each and every day. Okay, so if you have machine learning will be work in for few amount of data. Okay, so if you are giving high amount of data, right, that is large amount of data, it won't predict properly. Okay, so it won't predict properly like yes or no or anything. Okay, so the how much you are increasing the data to machine learning algorithm, the way of giving output for machine learning algorithm is difficult, and then it's not giving much accuracy result. Okay, so that's why we introduced into a deep learning. Okay, so deep learning is the one of the same thing. What is the definition of machine learning, based on the past data we are training the algorithm and giving the output. Okay, so like same thing only, based on the past data we are giving to the deep learning algorithms. Okay, and then deep learning algorithm will be give the result, but the way of training a deep learning and machine learning is different. Okay, so machine learning will be predict using the regression line or some other way. Okay, right, regression line or some other decision making, okay, decision tree algorithm, this and all, the way of predicting is different. Okay, but if you take a deep learning, the way of predicting is different. Okay, so deep learning will be works under the neurons. Okay, so work under the neurons. If you are giving a data, those data have some, each and every data have some weight. Okay, so those weight will be transferred to each neurons. Okay, so each neurons will be collect some weight, and then it will be due to the some activation function we will get some cost of the each data. Okay, some cost of the each data, based on that cost we will achieve the output. Okay, so that is the use of deep learning algorithm. Okay, so the way of machine learning training and testing is different, the way of deep learning is different. Okay, so here the advantage of deep learning is how much you are increasing the data, how much you are increasing the data volume. Okay, the accuracy result of deep learning algorithm is high. Okay, the machine learning drawback is the way, if you give an less amount of data only, it will be give the result. If you are giving high amount of data, it won't give the prediction result accurately. But the advantage of deep learning algorithm, if you are giving a more amount of data, it will be give the accuracy result a more 90% or 95%. Okay, so this is the deep learning process. Okay, so the machine learning and deep learning is the subset of AI. Okay, so if you want to perform machine learning and deep learning, okay, the machine learning and deep learning, it's a subset of AI. Okay, so if you want to achieve AI, we have mostly like agent. Okay, agents we need to achieve, we need to build an agents and then actuators. Okay, so what is agent and actuator, let's see. Okay, then you will comes to know the way of what is the use of AI. Okay, so I already told to you, to build a machine learning we need data, and to build a deep learning we need to deep learning. Okay, so those data will be connected from using some other sensors or anywhere, and we need to achieve the result. Okay, so let we comes to know how AI is working. Okay, so I will use PPT. So introduction to artificial intelligence. Okay, so artificial intelligence is nothing but it will be act as a human. Okay, so it's a vast growing technology. Okay, it's very fast, and this is the technology who invented by man. It will be implemented through your even body also. Okay, so till now the man who invented lot of things. Okay, like light, motors, or some other electronics and all. Okay, so materials and all. Okay, but this is the invention. Okay, who invented by man. Okay, so we can inherit that invention. Okay, like using like for example glass. Okay, sunglass will act as some smart glass. Okay, otherwise if you are in your hand itself, you can process your phone call. Without phone you can touch. Okay, like Iron Man Jarvis. Okay, so we can do whatever thing we need, you can do with AI. Okay, so it's a future. Okay, so it's a future, and it will be no longer, it will be definitely, it will be comes to implement as soon as possible. Okay, so because it's almost ready. Okay, so we will hear about the news each and every day. Okay, in hospital we have robot and some other Google Alexa, Alexa, or like some other AI chatbots and all we are using. Okay, so this and all some invention of AI only. Okay, so it will be work as a human and act as a human. Okay, so definitely we will achieve. Okay, so before 20 years and next 20 years there may be change. Okay, so before 20 years if you are take means even we don't use even mobile phone also. Okay, so if anybody using mobile phone nowadays, the mobile phone is wherever it is. Okay, so like this in next 2 years definitely the artificial intelligence will become. Okay, so if you are know about artificial intelligence, we need to know what is artificial and what is intelligence. Okay, so artificial is nothing but by man-made. Okay, so what are the things what are the things they have, it will be made by man. Okay, intelligence. Okay, intelligence is nothing but thinking power. Okay, so we are giving that man-made machine to as a thinking power. Okay, so this is the thing of artificial intelligence. Okay, so why we are using artificial intelligence? Okay, like we need to use like so nowadays we have a pandemic of COVID-19. Okay, so till now we are not getting 100% vacancy. Okay, so if we use AI we can predict like this also. Okay, so for example if in future we will get some other new virus. Okay, so you can use artificial intelligence. Okay, so based on the past data it will be predict the output. Okay, so that is the use of AI. And then we have like AI related like chatbots like Cortana or Google Assistant or Siri. Okay, etc. Okay, so we have like that, and so we can achieve even robotics also. Okay, so robotics using some other sensors we can achieve the robotics and technologies of new devices like mobile phones or home theaters or some other accessories also. Okay, so this is the way of artificial intelligence. Okay, so goals of artificial intelligence, it will be replicate the human intelligence. Okay, and then solve knowledge intensive task. Okay, so if you are giving a more number of tasks, okay, so like complexity related task, it will be give the intensive. For example, everybody will know about Go game. Okay, I think so. Go game is one of the oldest game of in China. Okay, so Go game is nothing but they have a like black and white coins only. Okay, so like just moving from one square to another square, like that only they are playing game. Okay, so they have more like we have a movement of like 10 power 23. Okay, like in this universe if you take an each and every plant. Okay, like our earth we have some other plants now, each and every plants we didn't achieve all the movement also. Okay, so like that we have some other this many movements we have. Okay, so this the way of playing of two peoples, it will be learned from them. Then now it's a world champion. Okay, so that up that time like that the artificial intelligence learn from past data and then give the result most accurately. Okay, so we need to achieve like that. We can achieve like that also some recurrent task, and then we can like we can demonstrate or explain. Okay, so like learning of new things to our students. Okay, like this also we can achieve artificial intelligence. So this is the application we are using artificial intelligence, like online advertising. Okay, so the personalized user experience, AI powered chatbots and predictive analysis, web designing, e-commerce, voice search optimization, email marketing, content, and then content generation. Okay, so these are the way you can achieve the applications of AI. Okay, so next one, types of artificial intelligence. Okay, so we have totally two types. One is type A and type 2. Okay, so type 1 and type 2. So type 1 we have narrow, general, strong, and then type 2 we have reactive mission, limited memory, theory of mind, and self-awareness. Okay, so type 1 we are now in type 1 only. Okay, so some task if you are giving me, it will be give the replay. For example, if you are giving hey Siri play the new songs, like that means it will be automatically it will be automatically give based on your task, it will be give the output. Okay, so this is the way we are now hearing weak AI or narrow AI. Okay, so because general AI also it's like a performing like a human. Okay, so till now we didn't achieve even general AI also. Okay, but after that we got super AI also. Okay, so super AI means more than human. Okay, so it will be think as a more than human. Okay, so these are the three way we can achieve in type 1 AI. Okay, and then type 2 AI we have reactive machine, limited memory, theory of mind, and then self-awareness. Okay, so let's we comes to know in paint. I told you if you want to achieve an AI we need even agent also. Okay, so we talk about machine learning and we talk about deep learning and we talk about big data also, how we can collect the data. So everything we talk. Okay, but how we can achieve AI, okay, using this machine learning, deep learning and big data. Okay, so we can achieve the AI based on agents only. Okay, so agent is nothing but here you can see if you want to replicate a human, what are the things we need for robot? Like sensors we need definitely. Okay, like touch sensor or pressure sensor. Okay, like ultrasonic sensor. Okay, a lot of sensor we have. Okay, so for example if you want to move from one place to another place, okay, without any obstacle, if you have obstacles also uh, you need to overcome those obstacles and you need to achieve the destination place. Means based on the sensors you can achieve. Okay, if you comes to robot means based on the sensor it will be achieved. Okay, so we need replication of sensor, and then for eyes, ears and other organs also. Okay, for example if you want to take it as a eyes and ears, eyes instead of eyes you can use for your robot cameras. Okay, instead of ears you can use mic. Okay, otherwise, and then we have infrared sensors. Okay, like that we need to achieve. Then after that actuate. Okay, actuators. Okay, so actuator is nothing but like we can achieve by sensors. Okay, not on we can have lot of sensor we can achieve, but we need to, for example if you want to build one robot for driverless car. Okay, so we need to go left and right. For using steering we need to change the way from left or right. Means you need some motors to rotate that steering. Okay, so that is called actuators. Okay, so in hands and legs, instead of hands and legs we comes to know some various type of motors. Okay, so this is the basic thing about human and robot. Okay, so if you want to replicate a human we need to achieve those sensors and actuators only. Okay, so agent. Okay, so human agent, robotic agent, and then software agent, sensor agent, actuator agent and efforts. Okay, so these are the agents we have. Okay, so for example, I am telling if you want to build a driverless car. Okay, so we need this PEAS. Okay, so what is PEAS means? PEAS is nothing but performance measure. Okay, that is if you want to achieve a driverless car, first we need to achieve like how it's working, your car is working. Okay, so the car is in good condition or not. Okay, and then the way which way you are using, in that way every map will be trained to the machine or not. Okay, they like that we need to achieve some measures. Okay, then environment. Okay, environment is one of the main thing. Okay, like for example if you want to give, you need to from source to destination map. Okay, so automatically according to the Google map it want to start and end the route. Okay, so we need to achieve the environment. Okay, and then actuators and sensors. About this everybody will know. Okay, so based on that we will PEAS we can achieve the self-driving cars also. Okay, and then we can see here performance. What are the representation of performance, environment, actuators and sensors. Okay, so performance is nothing but safety, time and then comfort. These are the performance. Environment. Okay, so environment, road, which way we are taking, and if you are going to the road, if you enter into the road we have some boards also. Okay, so like left arrow, right arrow, always straight, and then we have some signals also. Okay, so we need to train those signals. Okay, so if you are getting a red signal, the automatically car car want to stop. Okay, so like that you need to achieve, that is environment. And then actuators, steering, accelerator, brake, signals and then sensors, camera, GPS and speedometer. Okay, so this is the PES representation. Okay, so for example you can see like medical diagnosis and then part and then part picking robot. Okay, so these are the example you can nowadays we are using PEAS. Okay, so I hope if you see the slides you will comes to know. Okay, so what are the use of performance measure and environment and actuators and sensor. Okay, and then next one, types of AI agent. Okay, we have simple reflex agent, model based reflex agent and goal based reflex agent, utility based agent and learning agent. So we have totally five types we have. Okay, so then performance in AI. Okay, so we can achieve the AI like deep learning. Okay, I already told you. Natural language processing. So natural language processing is nothing but in name itself suggests is that you can convert your English language into some other language. Okay, using some AI or machine learning type of algorithm or analytic package. Okay, in Python we have natural language toolkit. Okay, and then virtual personal assistant, automatic chatbot, everybody will know, visualization to finding a graphs and plotting a graphs. Okay, and then audio analytics like audio classifications. Okay, so and then graph analysis, image analytics. Okay, and then internet of things, robotics and soft robotics, machine learning and social network analysis. Okay, so these are the way we can achieve the AI. And then platforms, if you want to use AI related platforms, you can use those platforms. The most trending one is Google AI platform, and then TensorFlow, Microsoft Azure. Okay, and then we have Watson Studio. Okay, so these are the area we can cover, achieve. These are the four platforms most commonly used. Apart from this we have more number of platforms also. Okay, you can see those platforms. And then conclusion. Okay, so I hope everybody as a result everybody will understand about AI. Okay, and then how we can do the AI process also, and then what is the big data also. I hope everybody will understand. With application we everything we seen. Okay, so if you have any doubt feel free and comment in comment section. Okay, I will reply for your doubt for 5 more minutes. Okay, so and one thing, if you want if you have any certificate, if you need any certificate related queries, we are posting each and every time about that link, certificate link. You can choose that link and then click that link and then register for your certificate. And if you are like this video, you can hit a like button and then share to your friends also. Okay, so if you like this video, please hit a like button and then share to your friends. And then if you are new to this channel, please click subscribe button. Okay, and then bell icon, hit a bell icon. So Microsoft Azure is nothing but it's a cloud platform. Okay, so if you want to do any machine learning process or deep learning process or AI related codings and all, you can use those platforms and you can build an application. So if you have any queries, we have a WhatsApp number. You can contact on WhatsApp number. I am posting the WhatsApp number in comment section. You just note it down. And if you have any queries related to this webinar, you can contact me on hyd.java@pantechmail.com. Okay, so at last side I will tell you. And we are conducting Pantech student ambassador program also. Okay, so if you want to join with us, you can click those icon and then you can click that link. Now I am posting that link to you. You just click that link and share your information. And then once again, thank you to all for this wonderful webinar, and then thank you for the college faculties to conducting this wonderful webinar with Pantech, association with Pantech e-learning. And then thank you for the convener, Mr. Vishnu Kant Soni, and then coordinator Nitish Nema. Okay, so and then thank you for the institute, Lakshmi Chan Institute of Technology. I hope everybody will enjoy this session. Let me see in another more nice session. Until it's signing off from Kamalesh. Thank you to all.